As I've been building this Lego world, I've laid down a lot of water. And so I want to show you the tips and tricks and even how to save a little money. My strategy for the water is inspired by the Ninjago City sets. Essentially what it comes down to is using these 2x1 trans blue pieces. And you'll just lay a bunch down. The process, start with laying down the base plate. This is the step where you choose what color you're gonna make your water. And if we take a look at real life oceans and just Google Maps, the deeper parts are dark and the shallow parts are light. To demonstrate, we're gonna be building this river, but the same principle applies for whatever body of water you're doing, such as our Viking village or this waterfall. For this river, we're going to start by placing the black plates in the center because rivers are the deepest at this point. From there, we place pieces that get lighter and lighter as the water is getting shallower and shallower. This is a great example of how to lay down our plates before we tile. So first you'll go with the deepest part, which is just going to be the darker. And then as you're going to get closer to the shoreline, it's going to get lighter colors. So then we do our kind of darker blues or just blues that aren't quite black. So it's a middle ground between light blue and black. And then afterwards, we'll finish it off with our lightest blue. And one of the things that's really fascinating though, is you can see that we've thrown in some other colors, like even some greens. And the ones that really surprised me of how well they look are the grays. And so we can use the dark bluish gray went closer to the center or the deeper parts, and then the light bluish gray is a little bit more shallow. It doesn't look too good yet, but once we tile it off and do some rock work around it, it's gonna look fantastic. I've laid some tan plates because I know I'm gonna be adding a little beach and I want it there to be just like a little sand that you can see underneath the water. Now that the plates have been laid, it's time to get tiling. But the first step is you have to have enough of those tiles, which means you have to buy them. And there's 3 places I know of. First is the pick a brick wall at the Lego store. But this one is a rare occurrence. So if they're ever at the Lego store, you've hit a gold mine. So you need to load up on as many of those boxes as possible. Otherwise, you're like me and have to order them online. I've ran the calculations, and if your order is going to be about $30 to $35, then just buy these straight from lego.com on their online pick-a-brick. But if you're going to buy more, like $100 worth, then just buy them straight from Bricklink, and you'll be able to find a seller that's selling thousands, and then just place their order, and then you'll end up getting more bang for your buck. But if you are going to place an order for less than $35, then just buy it straight from Lego because they'll give you that free shipping. One of the secrets to make this look natural is to avoid patterns and instead place the tiles a little haphazardly. But in general, you still want most of the tiles oriented in the same direction, lengthwise, the direction the water's flowing. Another thing to help make the water look really natural is you can also just get the 1x1 tiles of the same color, or even just get them in trans white, and it just gives that little bit of variety. And then another trick is to use these little leaf flower plants, the green ones. They just look kind of like little moss or lily pads sitting on the water. Now that you have to be a little bit more sparse with and use it in locations that would make sense to have water that's gotten a little mossy. As you're placing tiles, I'd recommend building your shoreline along the way because it's the easiest time to meld the two together. Here you'll see a few examples of how you can have the water transition into the rocks. And so you can have basically the rock and water be placed on the same brick, or you can place the rock on top of the water brick, or you can just have it kind of go right around and surround it. So there's just a few different options, and just mix it up, play around with a few different ones, and it will look good just having this variety. But then when you do other terrain, such as sand or grass, it tends to look better when you have the water just end up being level with your terrain. And then you'll just build up the terrain kind of going up to the 1 brick, 1 plate high that most of your other world's gonna be at. This water works really well when you're doing the mills system, which is just the modular integrated landscaping system, where essentially we're just building everything basically a brick and a plate above the classic Lego base plate. And this allows for really neat stuff like we're doing today, where the water is below the normal level of the main height of our Lego world. And that is how you make some really good looking Lego water. Now on my little piece, I didn't finish that top corner because I'm unsure what I'm going to do exactly back there. So I don't know how I need the terrain to meld in, but overall, this looks amazing. And that is it for today. Thank you for joining this video. Have fun implementing all these tips into your Lego creations. And click that subscribe button to see even more of these tips and tricks and to join building these Lego creations. We'll see ya.